Alright, so we're recording on audio now, and we're recording on video. All cameras recording.
Oh, I just see your message, Keke. All right.
Oh.
let me go over. So we recording?
Yeah, we recording.
Welcome to another episode of Two Over Cartoons. But you like, we used to the voice, and of course it's an audio adventure. But we always have the visual component, and I chose and elected. Let me give you all a break, and let me give the homies some shine. So, without further ado, they're already on the screen. Please introduce yourselves.
You go first.
I'll go first.
All right.
Hey guys, I am Keke, KekeThaCutiee on all my socials. I'm a creator, cosplayer, model, a lot of other things, pageant girly, and all around cool person. I'm a nerd. I embrace the nerd side. So
That's it.
welcome.
All right. And then we have...
What's going on, guys? It's Squiddy. I am YahSquiddy on all my socials. Mainly, I am a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber, and I dabble in the cosplay a little here and there.
Cool. So, I was like, okay, so Valentine's Day just passed. And I was like, what? I was like, me and PG was just talking about this yesterday, where we was like, a couple years ago, we had an old like love game show where we was trying to match people. And I was like, yo, what would be good to have for two of our cousins for Valentine's Day besides me, Archie, and Gabe, sort of going ham about love and things like that. I was like, let me just do the solid where I just feature different people in the community that have different tales and sort of dispel some of the, I guess, the tropes of being a nerd. And for y'all who don't know out there, this man and woman, husband and wife, and they game together. They love their different fandoms together. Go to cons together, cosplay together. So, yeah, you could be a nerd and find love. And I wanted to show that, like, to play a specific thing. So let's just go into the beginning.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
Watching cartoons separates you from others.
So what would y'all like, how did y'all even meet?
Oh boy.
You want to tell
Okay.
a story?
Hold on, let me just keep the camera. I actually on the camera. Let's go.
Makes it on camera.
Shorter parents.
All right, shout out parents.
Yeah.
All right, cameo. I am actually in the building. So
He is here, confirmed.
yes.
No AI.
So what was y'all first experience like? Not really first experience. How did y'all meet?
Okay, so for the
What
most
do
part,
nerds meet? That's what people really want to know.
I'm gonna let you take this, but I just want to say that it's been like 10 years.
Wow.
This has been 10 years.
This relationship has been 10 years.
Relationship has been 10 years.
Since like grade 10, I think.
Yes.
Oh, what school y'all went to?
We come from different schools. So I come from Montgomery and she went to Aquinas.
Okay.
So she always lets me tell this story.
Yeah.
But I'll clean it up for the pod.
And shorten.
Yeah. But we had a mutual friend. And how do I even say this? Anyways, we met through the mutual friend. It was not a very nerdy meeting at all. It wasn't any anime, any gaming, anything that played a part in it.
Actually,
Gaming.
yeah.
Gaming, yeah. So we had a mutual friend and we met through him. And we ended up just kicking it off in conversation and what's not. She added me on Facebook and she was obsessing over my pictures.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
But she
Not true.
was telling me that she could beat me in court, which was a lie. Because we 1v1 and she didn't beat me.
I don't remember the results of.
You didn't.
Okay, fine.
You-
I just
you
don't
didn't-
remember.
Hello.
I'll let you have it.
What is court exactly?
Call
of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Which
okay.
one was it?
No,
You
because
remember?
you said court, and I was like, oh, like,
You remember which one that was?
This was like Black Ops, eh?
The first one.
10
It had
years
to.
ago, right?
It had to be the
Yeah, I
first
think
one.
this was like the
The
first
first
Black Ops or
Black Ops,
something.
yeah.
Or Modern Warfare 2. One of them early
Yeah.
ones. Right. So this was like PS3 days. So
for sure.
yeah, she 1v1 me. I do remember winning for sure. Like, dying a lie. That's a fact.
I let him have
And
it. I can let him have it.
Let him up and he no mistakes. Show your power immediately.
and we just end up getting cool over time. But we started our relationship after we both graduated. I think like 2 years after we graduated. So high school, and then here we are now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we've always been connected because
Yeah.
it wasn't just one friend. We just ended up always having the same group of friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'd always end up like hanging out around each other because we just share this pool. So we'd always end up in the vicinity of each other regardless if it was planned or not.
Yeah.
All right. So when did the whole, I guess, after talking to each other, when was like, okay, you express your different interests, and it was like, wait, obviously the card was like one thing, but obviously that could have just been just one item in in its own place. But then when it was the point where it's like, but I like this too, and I like this, and I really fanatic at this, and then probably one day you're like, you know what? One day we should actually go to a con or something like that and explore this and build upon that. Or it was just like maybe years down the line, and it was like, we've always been wanting to do this, and let's finally do it.
Yeah. How we got there. So let me start with the anime side. Actually, no, I can let you handle that. Let me start with the gaming side. So I've always been a gamer. Like, I grew up in a household with 3 older brothers, and I wanted to do everything they did.
Okay.
And so they was gaming, they was playing their game, so I would cry, let me play.
So they used to give you the control and not plug it up.
Funny. Oh my gosh, am I on still? Is this on?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still on. Yeah,
You
yeah.
literally know. You called it like, so yeah. They give me the controller, they ain't plugged in. But obviously it came a point where I know it's not plugged in. So I crying, and when my mommy walking, it's like, let her play. So obviously that elevated to now the controller, and so they actually gotta let me play. And games back then was split screen. Everything was split screen. So you have to pass the controller when you lose.
Yeah.
And it just got to a point where, like, I don't want to be passing the controller no more. So, like, I got to get good. And so that's really where it started. So gaming was always, like, a part of me. Even when we met, we exchanged our PSNs. And I don't really think we played against each other much in the
it wasn't
beginning. Yeah, we didn't play against each other. We didn't have that competitive thing going on yet. But when it came to tournaments and stuff, that always was a given for us because obviously we share that same passion. I'll say when we lived together, it was really when the gaming together and
Right.
the competitiveness between us started. That's the gaming side. Give us a little something about the anime side.
So with the anime, I knew she watched it. Because she was very open about her gaming and anime stuff, even in meeting her. She was always one of them. She was
Even
ashamed
before it was cool in pop culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why she said she is accepting the nerd now, because she never realized that she was one.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah,
that's a
forget we
different
had that whole
conversation.
Right.
in a group.
So she was very open about her anime and gaming stuff, but she didn't classify herself as a nerd. But so I always knew that she watched it. But it wasn't when we had started dating, she wasn't watching it at the time. So she was on I wouldn't say a break, just more interested in other things. So I kind of got her back into watching anime and slowly building it up over time. I did introduce you to manga.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
manga has always been my thing from back then. So introducing that to her, she's still an avid reader, but I still working on that.
I mean, don't feel bad. I just started reading manga for the first time this year.
That's
I always
crazy.
listen to reviews.
That's crazy.
But what really got me into reading manga is Kagurabachi and Sakamata Days. And I was like, okay, I see why people like this, because I'd
Yeah.
be quiet, waiting on a package and just reading, getting through a couple chapters. So yeah, but it's the whole fall in love with reading type of thing.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
I would assume, okay, so the whole, I guess, not until y'all live together, it was like, okay, we're gonna start collecting the merch and things like that.
Right.
So what was it like for, I guess, Squid, for you growing up liking, I guess, what anime and manga and comics and all these different things? Because I always like to ask people that, because that sort of shapes your passion for it as you get older.
So I have an older brother. He's like 7 years older. And he was interested in these things. So obviously a lot of my interests came from things that he was interested in, following my older brother. And watching, so, grew up watching Toonami and all these kind of things. So anime was always there. But it was never a time where I really grew out of it. So like in school, I had some few friends who also watched it, who also gamed and what's not. So we used to share our interests, talk about it. Scott Pilgrim versus the World comics, we sharing out at school. But I was never the full-on nerd. Whereas like you can't have a conversation with people. Like I feel like there's some of them out there. But I always still was kind
The
of a
ones will
social...
be Naruto running around.
I still was a social person, so I still could hang out with people. Still used to go to parties. Still was just a regular
He
cool
was
guy.
popular child.
He was
Popular.
She always think I was popular. I don't think I was popular. I just was a cool boy. I was cool with everybody. That was my thing. But anime, even up to this day, like it's never like the forefront of my personality. When I meet somebody, you kind of meet me and then you find out that it's interest. But it's still a high interest. It's still a big part of me, but it ain't something that I just spew out at the beginning. I guess because, back then it was, oh, you into these things. Right.
Yeah.
And so people look at you kind of funny. So I kind of put it on the back burner. So I allow you to meet me first. Then you find out that I have these interests.
I like you said that. I want y'all both to answer this question. So was I sort of get sort of irritated by it to where it's like people think because I into this stuff, this is all that I am. And it's like, no, this is a part of me.
Yeah.
There's a whole plethora of things that I into or whatever. Like, yeah, don't mind. I got this big one piece flag in here. Like, I dressed down like this. Right. So, So, tell me, like, how do y'all sort of, I guess, balance, like, what do you do professionally and sort of not fitting the mold and that stigma, and y'all just be like, wait, I like this, but I like to dress too. Keke is a glamour girl and a pageant girl, and Squid, but I don't wear it on me, but that's just a side of me, but I like other things too.
Yeah, that's a great question. So let me kick this off because I am an auditor. My day job.
Big money, big.
I am a CPA, and so like
talk that talk.
I'm in the finance world. I in corporate Bahamas, so it's actually like it's so interesting because I actually met someone the other day. Me and her was just chopping it up, and she revealed to me that she also like this is also her career path, auditing. And I was like, oh, okay, which firm you at? And whatever. And she was like, you literally don't look like an auditor. And I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, you're too this to be, and behind a desk and professional and all that. So it's like my balance, I don't know if it's a balance or if it's more fair to say it's like, it's just two different worlds. I just live in different worlds. And at the core, it's still me in all of it. But it's not really a mesh. It doesn't really mesh. So like my day job, as I've said, it don't really cross. Now, when I'm interacting with people corporately, I'm professional, but it's so funny because even like the other day, I remember I in the mall for the like cosplay competition thing, and my partner was like right over there. I was like, oh hey, and I don't remember if I was cosplaying or not, but I was like, oh hey, and even that I found out like my partner like manga too. So it's like I obviously like would express like I won't hide who I am.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
it's like my worlds almost don't cross much because the people that I know professionally aren't into these type of things, and the people
Or
that I know
sometimes
creatively,
they are.
well, sometimes they are,
But
but
they
we never
closeted,
cross
yeah.
those. We never cross those boundaries to even know, because work is work.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But like, yeah. So it's inherently a part of my personality, and like I'm known. People know if you talk about anime, like, all right, where Keke at? Like at work in the room with the coffee and all the tea, is like, hey, you watch our new episode? So they know. They don't necessarily cross. And I wouldn't say it's like a balance. It's just, I just reside in two different worlds. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
Squid, same question for you.
I mean, she pretty much kind of summed it up, reside in two different worlds. The other day, so like I'm a manager at where I'm at. And it was so interesting because one of my employees came up and was like, I found your TikTok. She's like, oh, you was be streaming. And it's like, I didn't know how to feel because it's like, that's such a different side of me. Like, it isn't that I didn't want you to know, but.
It's like it feels intrusive.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you're the employee and now you understand that this other activity that I do, which I just was interested in. I was like, yeah, I do. And she just was like, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so I was like, yeah, but I don't really want to let people know, too much people at the job. And she's like, oh no, it's fine. She isn't gonna say nothing. But it just, I didn't know how to feel, and I still don't know how to feel really.
Because you feel like there's something that you want to keep to yourself. Like this is what you enjoy. I ain't doing this to share with people. I ain't doing this for me.
Right.
Like,
And like I have a few of them on my WhatsApp. So the other day I just recently started again, and I posted the link, and I was like, oh, some of them can actually see the link. So I wonder if anybody might click it or just see it. But no one brought it up. But like she said, two different worlds. I exist in two different worlds. If you talk to me, then you can find out that I do these things. Another one, someone had mentioned to another employee that I did stream and stuff, and she had asked me. That's how it came up. She's like, oh, I love watching streamers. I love watching these YouTube videos and anime. And we started talking. So I shared my YouTube and my Twitch with her, and she went and watched the videos. And it just was like, oh, okay, I appreciate it. But I don't know. It's interesting. I'm still trying to grasp the feeling of it.
Understand me so, because like I have moments with I had One Punch Man Saitama keychain. I work at, obviously everybody knows I work at a TV station. I'm miking up Matt Aubrey. I put my keys down. He's like, oh, One Punch Man. Oh, that's what I'm like just be, hey, Justin, how you doing? Oh, One Punch Man. Oh, I like to watch that. And it's like, okay, super exact people, or it'd be weird. Well, I had to come to grips with my coworkers, like when I started working there, that when I post like my content, they started saving my videos off of my status and sharing it with each other. Like, look what dude doing.
Oh, see?
Oh my God.
like, and I'm like, okay, guys out there.
But like, in what way? Like, what's their intentions behind that?
Not just because they couldn't believe. Because see, the whole thing what I battled for a long time is people thought doing all this was beneath me because they see me in this other form of mine doing working.
Right.
And so it's like, why are you doing this? And it's like, because I like it and it's my release or whatever.
Right.
So it ain't until I explain like the business behind it and the intention and the marketing and all coming back around to okay, film. Then it's like, oh, okay, we get it now.
You had to break it down in their language.
Yeah. So it's like now, and because it's becoming pop culture, not just the anime, but even like the streaming and people seeing the numbers and the gaming and all these different things, and me creating tools for cartoons and then podcasting.
You got a whole network, bro. Like,
so it's like now it's like, okay, we get it because you've been beating us down for so long with it. It's like, all right, we see it because we see other people start doing it. So. Right. Now let's get into when it was the first time when y'all was like, okay, first, number one, when y'all was going to stream and make content. Has there ever been a discussion of making content together? And the first time, of course, when y'all was like, we going to do our first cosplay.
Okay.
That was 3 questions.
Yeah.
So let's start. Question number 1 was when y'all decided to actually like get into streaming and things like that.
Streaming.
So the funny thing about that is, I never used to watch streams. Like it made no sense to me. I was like, why I could watch someone else play game when I could just play the game myself? And so that was something she actually introduced me to. Streamers and like her brothers and stuff, they used to watch it a lot. Because y'all was heavy in League at the time. All of them was just grinding straight to League at the time. And me enough at first started dating, and they used to watch a lot of streamers. So she introduced me to that, and it just became one day where I was like, I'll give it a shot. And we bought the stuff, we did the setup, and we just started streaming.
This was like during the pandemic or before the pandemic?
I think this was it right after?
It was
during, essentially.
If it wasn't during, it was
like
probably
the end of
like
2020, like early
was it the
2021.
end?
Well, then the
Maybe
pandemic.
2021.
We was married, or we was just living together. Yes, we shocked up. We shocked up.
It's fine, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Might as well be over that.
But it was around the pandemic time.
Pandemic-ish.
Pandemic-ish. Either it was during or
At the end of 2021, I
I
guess.
don't think we was married because we got married at the end of 2020.
Right.
So it might have been end of 2019 or something, to be honest.
Before the panic?
I think so. Anyways.
Anyways.
So yeah, so between 2019 and 2021, yeah,
Right.
So
that period,
we started, and
yeah.
Literally.
we both started I think within the same time.
Well, I started first.
Right. And I started
And you
like,
started like shortly after.
like a week or two later. And we hit affiliate like within a week of each other.
yeah.
So it took us like a month to hit affiliate. We both hit it in a month and one right after the next.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty cool thing. And then, yeah, that's
That
how
was
the
the
stream.
beginning.
The streaming was literally just a spur of the moment kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just we could try it and we started, we loved it, and we just kept up with it.
Okay, so before we get to the thinking about creating content together, how did y'all even come up with y'all names? Yeah.
You always being KekeThaCutiee though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
But even like, so let me just give a little bit of backstory about my name. Like
Go
I
ahead,
remember, I don't know if y'all remember like the Facebook days where everybody was like Ms. IB,
Yeah.
so cute,
Swagger,
steal
like,
your
da, da, da,
man
da.
type. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was definitely in that era, and like I haven't found. That was a time where like I didn't have like a set name yet, and as you get older, I feel like you grow out of it, right? Like you realize, all right, I won't spell words crazy.
Yeah.
Like
and using all
putting
these
H
different
in
fonts.
every word and
Yeah.
spelling like LYK. Like, all right, it didn't make sense. Let me just type her up in English. And that was like with that growth, that maturity, I was like, I came to a point, I remember this, I was like, all right, I'm going to change my Facebook name now. But whatever I change this name to, this like it gotta be, this gotta be it, and it gotta make sense. Cause I always liked Keke, but Ki. And I was like, you know, I have an I in my name, but it ain't really making sense like that because my name is Ke. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do Keke like with the E's. And Keke Palmer was the only Keke I knew whose Keke was spelled that way. So I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't want to do it that way, but I did. And yeah, I think when I made an Instagram, that's literally been my name ever since. It's been
Alright.
Keke, and I was like, the cutie, because hello. I told Drake not to put my name in that song. But what about you, Squiddo?
Why a squid? Don't tell me it was inspired
Oh,
like
that's a good
Squidward
one.
from SpongeBob.
No,
Okay.
no.
That's a
but
good one.
I do spiritually relate to him though. It was it started at work. So one of my boys was like, you kind of remind me of Squid from Rocket Power. And I was like,
okay, yeah, sound.
right,
Yeah.
right. And to be honest, at the time, I forgot which character it was.
Yeah, because
I was mixing him up with Twister.
Twister was Squid. He was the
was
old
Twister.
Squid.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
before our
And
sound game. Yeah.
I was thinking of Twister. So I was like, oh, but I like him as a character anyway.
Maurice.
And so that kind of got labeled at work a bit. Not amongst everybody, but just a few who was there at the time when it came up.
yeah.
And it was such a stupid name when it started out because they always just made stupid names. So it started as Squidly G. That's what they used to say because it sounded stupid, so that's what they used to say. And then it evolved to just Squid because the rest of that didn't make sense.
Squidly.
And then Squiddy just started rolling off the tongue. So the first, I think when I started, it was Squid_242, classic Bahamian fashion.
Yeah.
I got a rep.
Just gotta start.
Yeah, but it was recently when I started getting more serious and into the YouTube and stuff, I wanted to kind of break off from that. And I didn't want to just be like Squiddy the gamer or Squiddy this. And I just wanted to kind of encompass a lot. So YahSquiddy it still sound Bahamian,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it looked better. And
yeah.
so I just,
like with the
How it looked too.
phonetically. Yeah.
right. And so I just went with that and that's how we got here. But Squiddy is still just, yeah.
So, well, actually, a question that popped in my head was, I was like, y'all should do if y'all ever do a
Sounds
couple
already.
cosplay, do Sam and Reggie.
That's an
That
idea
would
now. That's an
That would
idea.
eat.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
gotta write that down.
yeah. So content. So, did y'all ever think about, hey, we gonna make a page together, or we gonna build separate first before we do the joint thing, or just just
Yeah,
work in
no.
tandem separately?
Yeah, no, we definitely thought about how to go about it. And it was at a time where y'all remember YouTubers, it was a lot of couple pages and all the
Yeah.
pranks
Yeah.
and stuff. And we knew we didn't want that for us. We
Yeah.
didn't want to be a prank page or
Yeah.
Or a
Like-
couple page or whatever.
I don't have the patience for that sometimes.
Yeah.
that wasn't the vibe for real. So I think with that we decided, all right, let's do our own thing. And if it looks like a better opportunity to do that, we would. So we're considering it for the future, but
Okay.
Yeah.
but we don't have a page. Even we thought about doing a stream, a Twitch page together, and just have that be solely couple streams because there was the challenge of okay, we want to do our couple streams. So who channel we could stream it off?
Right.
It's should we do mine and then do yours? Should we just do mine? Should we just do yours? Do we do yours twice a week and mine once? It was that. So it's definitely something I think it'll come in the future. But yeah, we was let's
Yeah, because I say-
let's just vibe out.
I think a lot of people, because the whole couple YouTube thing is if they're gonna stay together and then the ugly business behind cutting the brand in half and all these things, they'll build their own pages first, and then if it's if we make a couple pages, all right, we could always dissolve that. We still got our individual brands or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm dying.
probably.
You know?
Yeah, we're recording now. So, first, when did y'all decide? Obviously, the gaming thing and the content, not the content, the streaming thing is inside the house behavior and no one got to know. So, when was the first time? I think the first time I actually came in contact with y'all was at the Demon Slayer premiere. I think that was 2021.
At Fusion.
Yeah, and you was Nezuko. Yeah, and we actually still have that picture on my Instagram, my other Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first time I actually met you, and I was like, okay, hopefully one day we actually come back outside and we get to meet everybody. I think this fully must be.
Oh, that's fine.
Because I keep on stuff.
Yeah.
So so that was the first time I was like, okay, I think I seen people around. I mean, I wasn't really coming around. I was on my antisocial tip. This is still creating, but I wasn't quote unquote Jesse Zombie yet. So, but what was y'all first cosplay individually, and then when was the first time y'all did it together, or was that the first time y'all did the period was together.
Yeah, so the two are the same
Okay.
Yeah, I think
because
it was Daddy.
it was Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I was Nezuko and he was Tanjiro. But I feel like it was at the Geek Out. Did we not premiere that at the Geek Out?
Wait, no. I think we did it. I think the Geeko was
After Fusion?
Yes, cause I had the cloak. I didn't do like a full Tanjiro cosplay. I just had the cloak, and then I wore like a black shirt, black pants, or whatever, and I had the earrings.
You need
She
the
did-
earrings.
Yeah, she did the full. That was no. I remember because at Fusion that was the first time I wore them, and I was like, these earrings a little heavy. I wasn't used to that. And I specifically remember that, and so I think that was the first time we did that. You was Nezuko.
But I was in cosplay? I was in cosplay?
Yeah, I can pull up the picture.
Oh.
You
was
did
doing it
it the
with-
night before when they did the cosplay thing at Fusion.
Right, the premiere. Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
you put on a light Nezuko thing for the movie, I think. No, you didn't wear anything Nezuko for the movie.
Correct.
Right.
But I did do it with the other cosplayers.
Yeah. When
So-
they was building up the hype to Demon Slayer movie coming up.
Right.
And I think we did it again at Geek Out.
Right. But so I feel like Keke was the first premiere where we
Yeah.
was next to each other actively, That was the premiere. You agree?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was when we both did it at the same time. And
Okay,
people
so we
was
had the same
like, oh
page
my
then.
God, that's so weird.
Oh,
guys
people
are-
say that for real?
Yeah, people was like, you guys are in a relationship, but you cosplaying as Tanjiro and Nezuko. And it's
Now we
like,
get, see, I have the picture. So this,
I guess technically.
wait, hold on.
technically,
Oh, yes,
right, but it was like,
Yes. Yeah, so
yeah,
I was doing this with
him and Shannon and them.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, we didn't
Shout
know
out
he was for
Shannon.
Drew. I think we only really knew Shannon.
Yeah. Because then this. Oh, okay, that's something else.
That's how he's gonna get.
Oh, man. No. But, yeah, because a lot of us, because it was like, okay, the thing was building, and then because we all of us was trapped inside the house, a lot of us was just seeing people and passing on TikTok, and if you wasn't booming on TikTok yet, you wouldn't have known each other because we never could be able to meet
Who
in
all
person.
was there?
All of Sam, Carib,
You was there too?
I was there actually.
yeah,
I think-
all
okay, I
us
do
passed
remember.
away, and obviously we was wearing masks, so it's like you can't
Oh,
see.
true.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
mask
like you
thing,
ain't
yeah.
know people
Yeah.
from the start. You ain't even
Yeah.
really pick up on like,
Yeah.
I know who this person is. So
So that was actually my first cosplay, period.
no, but I like y'all say how y'all felt about people saying y'all married but y'all dressing up. Like what that have to do with
Simple.
anything?
It wasn't that we was dressing up. It was the fact that we was married and we did a sibling cosplay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That's
People do it all the time. People do villain and hero, gender bend, and
And
this.
it wasn't like intentional, like,
Yeah.
oh, we both depict siblings. I think that was the only cosplays we had.
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
our first time at Fusion, so we just decided to wear it at Geek Out, and people was like, yeah, that's so weird. And stuff was like, y'all can't talk to me about weird. Please.
First of all.
So,
Oh, man.
but that kind of, it was kind of bugging. It's just like, all right, okay.
I didn't really care, to be honest.
Yeah, because
I was
I'm like,
It's just,
Where's your partner in cosplay?
cool.
but yeah.
So how do y'all sort of? Well, before we go to the relationship stuff, how does sharing fandom strengthen your relationship?
So I guess I'll start by saying it does strengthen our relationship. And it's so fun to just like have something that we both could relate to, we're interested in, we love to talk about. So now it's like, okay, we're watching stuff together, and I can't watch certain anything, to be honest, without him. And so now it's like we have another activity, like
Yeah.
our main app is Crunchyroll. It ain't even Netflix. So it's like
Netflix getting paid off here, to be honest.
Love is Blind. I need my Love is Blind. Thank you very much. But yeah, so it's that, and it's not just the act of watching it together. Like we just have our own heated debates, and it's just so great. It's just so great, like having that thing to bond on. And like for me, it's something like that I'm passionate about because it's like a part of me. I love it so much, and it's the same for him. So it's like we always could like bounce ideas off each other, and don't let it be one piece. The theories, I have a whole whiteboard.
Let's pause right there.
No, just look to the left.
But we can pause right there, right?
All right,
'Cause
let's go.
when we got together, so I've always been a One Piece
Oh,
fan.
here we go.
Always. And One Piece, I think, was the first manga I ever read, trying to catch up. But always been a fan. And when we got together, she hated One Piece.
Yes.
Oh, which year this was? This was because I feel like I think a lot of people, because I always remember, right, 2014 when I was in college, and I went to the Dragon Con parade. It was only like One Piece cosplay, and it was a Luffy, and I still have that photo with that cosplayer, and you don't really see nothing. No, you can't go to no con without seeing no One Piece cosplay. So I feel like the point between 2015 and 2020, that's when the tide started to change, where people, the fandom got bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
But her thing was, it was very childish.
I could speak for myself.
Okay, wait, go ahead.
But
Tell them, let's
yes,
see
I
if you
will.
could be
No,
honest.
I will
Let's
be
see if you
honest.
could be honest.
I didn't like One Piece because
It
I
was
knew
too
One
long.
Piece from not even. I knew One Piece obviously from Toonami. I didn't like. I never liked like pirate stuff. Like that just wasn't my thing. I also didn't like medieval setting media. Like I'm just not interested.
Very childish.
So you don't like Game of Thrones?
She loves Game of Thrones,
Well, that's
Now I
the
do. And I love One Piece
which
too.
I also introduced her to.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was really that. So yes, it was a childish reason. But you want to go on and
Yes, I will.
all
Because
yours.
so she didn't sign, and I was working for years to try and get her to start One Piece, and she's like, I'm not interested, whatever. So one time we was by one of my boys, and I was showing them this theory that came out, and she was in the room, and I should put the theory on, and they watched it, and she just. And like she
It didn't
freaked-
sound that way.
Hold on, which theory was this?
The
This is-
done piece.
The Dun Beast.
That's the only thing she
I'll never
remember.
forget.
But
What?
I don't know if you're
You know
familiar with
O'Hara,
O'Hara on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
It's
So
one of his-
the
the
best
library.
One Piece
the greatest
theory.
One Piece theory
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
That's
That
the
went
video.
viral when he dropped it.
Okay.
And so I was showing my boys that, and she was watching it, and she just was like,
Like, when you were around when someone watching something, so it's like, you doing what you're doing, but it's
Yeah.
like, you just glance over and it's like, It's like, oh. Like, all of this happening in One Piece? I
Yeah.
was like,
No, that's how it's been.
right.
Yeah. Because I remember when I first watched it for the first time in 2015, I was telling my mom about how, like, the world government taking over there is like, and she's super Christian. Hold on, I need to get onto that. And I was like, yeah, like, this is a very, like, complex story to
Right.
where it's like
Yeah.
everything ties into
It's
one. So
layers.
it's like,
right. And because obviously just my impression of it, One Piece, the animation seemed kind of like cartoony and I don't like
Simple.
I don't like pirates. So it was like, it kind of blew my mind that like all of that stuff was happening. Mind you, I don't know anything about the story really, but like that theory sold me and all. I was like, oh yeah. So it's the done piece, and but I'm gonna let you finish.
So yeah, she watched it, and we convinced her to start it.
Okay.
All right, we made progress.
But I was open at that point.
She was
I was
open. She's like, okay.
Alright.
okay.
Yeah, she started, and I think we watched like the first 2 episodes. Right
Probably,
after.
yeah.
And how did it go on after that? You started
It was
watching
2
on.
theories we watched though.
It was 2 theories.
Yes.
Like I think the next one was in that
The next one was about who is
Vegapunk. Right.
Yeah.
So this was a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, she started watching it, and she still, One Piece early animation is very rough.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll be honest.
Yeah, because that's why out of the big 3, it's the late bloom on the big 3.
Yeah.
Because it didn't hit until after Naruto was gone, Bleach is gone, and then
Right.
it was like, they're still going, it's getting better.
Exactly.
And so, but I think you did like Luffy at the beginning.
I don't know who I like at the beginning.
I think you did like Luffy. And so she kept watching it. And it was something that kept her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
watching
think it gets you hooked because it's like, okay, what they about to do next?
Right.
Then it's like, okay, this happened, then this happened. Oh.
Right.
And then they start doing the connecting, like the world bender, and it's
Right.
like, all right, what about to happen now?
And then see, for me, it was like I already had that like preemptive introduction with the theory. So it's like I knew there was depth. So it was just a matter of getting there. And for a while, I was just watching it to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But let me tell you where One Piece hooked me.
And he's lobby?
Yes.
No.
Water
Water
7.
Seven.
Annie's lobby.
Yeah,
That's the
Annie's
same
lobby.
lobby.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
The conflict on the Straw Hat crew.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I cried like a baby. And I was like, and that was the moment when I realized that I was hooked because I started to feel for the characters. And I was like, oh my gosh, my captain? That's when it started. And it was history from then. History.
And his lobby is like my top favorite arc in One
Yeah,
Piece.
it's-
Just because from Water 7,
Yeah.
the whole
Shout out to the
CP.
war. All of the war
yeah.
for me.
His
is-
writing and that was
Yeah.
insane.
So if you haven't, this is my camera. If you haven't started One Piece, baby, the remake is coming. Okay, there's
Wick
no
Studios.
excuse. But still start now.
I mean, they
Why wait?
remade Fishman Island. That's
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
over.
yeah.
I mean, even though I don't feel like that improved anything on it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, I'll stop in and watch to see if like, okay, how this different from the original. And to me,
It's
it
just
ain't.
an improvement, improvement, eh?
Yeah, just different shadowing and then
They cutting out a
speeding
lot of
up the
fluff.
pace. And so, but it's like, it's still, I don't see a difference. But,
Yeah.
You know, but Fishman Island ain't like my favorite or whatever.
Same.
Like, you know, it was like, okay, let's get to
Yeah.
the real stuff.
Good stuff.
So, but I love that you were excited and saying that, yo, we have things to talk about because
yeah.
we have something to bond over. And I think that's what, especially going to cons, seeing that's how people, it's quick for them to connect because now it's like, we don't have to figure out what we like. We don't know what each other like.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about this and then put me on the new stuff that I might like or whatever. Like, you know, I remember putting my girlfriend on to Dun. And like, it was like, oh my goodness, I love this. Yeah, like, so it's like, you know, different fandoms, different things that you may like or take interest in. That's always good. And that's why I'd be like, when people were like a stigma where it's like, you know, the quote unquote, I think nerd stereotype and how it's supposed to look. And homeboy got flack for this last year at DreamCon when he was like, where all the bodies is. And people was like, you ain't looking. Because it was like,
I
you know, the
remember that.
nerd archetype ain't what it is. It's like, these beautiful people.
It's evolved.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
not that it's evolved. It's just, I take that comment back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, so
Actually, before, but something I want to add with the fandom thing is, even though we'll introduce each other to like different fandoms and just share, it's still things we don't dabble into. So, an example which was brought up earlier today was Persona.
yeah.
I love the Persona series. I'm trying to get her to play it, but she's
Okay.
not consistently doing it. But she'll sit down and she's watched me play it, and I'll talk to her about it. So like,
technically.
and outside of that, I'm an avid reader. I read a lot of books. And so I'll sit her down like, okay, I gotta tell you this book. And
yes,
she
yes,
wouldn't read these books, but she'll listen to me. They just talk about these books, rant about these books, explain it. She'll also come, sure, she watch things she does. She'll come back and she'll, hey, this and this. And so even though we may not share these things, we still explain it to each other and we listen and we understand that this is something you love. I may not get into it, but I love that you love it and I love hearing about it. So it's
Yeah.
still something that we could share, even though we don't actually do together.
Yeah.
But you know,
Like,
there's
tell
always
stories. We just like to talk.
Yeah, we talk
Honestly,
about it.
so him telling me about the book he read, which is usually like a fantasy type of
A
genre,
lot of fiction
right?
books,
yeah, yeah.
It's almost like a movie for me. Like I'm just sitting down and I'm like this. Wow. Literally to the point where I was like, hey, did you read the next couple chapters yet? Because I need to know what happened.
Yeah.
So it's like that. Yeah.
So how do y'all like, you know, as us being content creators, how do y'all balance, you know, the work, content creation, life with, you know, maintaining your relationship?
So we so even with my work schedule now, we don't really find ourselves with a lot of time hanging out with each other. I work shifts and I also work on weekends sometimes. She has a straight 9 to 5 through the week, but it's a busy season, so there's times where she works overtime and so forth. So it's a lot of time where our work schedules just clash. And when it comes to content, we have one setup, one desktop, one setup. So if someone streams, the other person can't really do anything else. Edit in or decide to do if they want to record. So we have to kind of set days like, okay, I'll be using it this day. She'll use it these days and so forth. But when it comes to actual regular time with each other, we try to fit that in as much as we could. Just whenever we could, really. Sometimes even if just something quick before bed, we talk, we watch something, even though you fall asleep.
I could have left that out.
No. But yeah, I think the thing is with us, we grant each other a lot of freedom just to live life and explore different interests and so forth. So we don't really like lock each other down like, okay, you have to always be spending this time with me. It's like, okay, I understand you have these interests. I understand she might be like, okay, today I want record content, but she won't and stuff. And it's like, okay, I'll go in the room, play a game or something, do whatever. You go do your whole setup, record your content for however long it takes. And she'll be like, okay, you can go stream. I can go record mine. And so we grant each other a lot of freedom. Because people have lives. And you ain't gonna really make it nowhere if you always trying to lock down each other. That, oh, I want to spend time with you. But I still trying to make it. I still trying to record. I still trying to do these things. So, anything you want to share?
I think just that, like, I've been learning, I don't know if does balance exist truly? Like, you may find a balance, but then when the circumstances change, you have to readjust. So it's more like a balancing act, and it's like very continuous. For me, that's something I struggle with to this day with content, you know, getting my footage, recording and editing and posting. But I mean, like I say, it's a balancing act, and I give myself grace for it, and I just try again. But I just try not to fall into the pit of not posting or not releasing my content. Like, you know, people who have like analysis paralysis and you actually never start or you never do the thing. So I just try not to fall into that.
Okay, so speaking on that balance, because the next thing that comes is, you know, burnout. How do you deal with burnout when it comes to being a content creator? Like, you know, obviously both of you, because I know y'all and we all in the same group. Okay, both of you expressed that, hey, I need to take a break from doing this. I've taken many breaks from posting, coming here to record, because I just be like, yeah, my mind ain't growing, or my like that creative key ain't turning over, and I just need to woosah, step away, get re-inspired, and then choose a time to come back into it. So, but how do y'all sort of navigate the burnout, and like what advice you would give people?
So, and it's tricky, right? Because all of the creative stuff that I do, they are my creative releases. They are what stops, they prevent the burnout from my day job. So when they start to feel the creative releases, that is, when they start to feel like I'm getting close to burnout, like you say, you just got to take a break. You got to take a step back. Social media could mess you up, you know? So, and breaks from it is good. I think one thing for me that I am trying to hold on to is that I'm very adamant about living in the moment. So unless it's something that I'm making content for, I'm not pulling out my camera. Like I'm not vlogging it. Like it's not even a thought in my mind, to be honest. And I think because I have that separation in my mind, it makes it a little bit easier for me to avoid burnout. Because like I said, I am able to live in the moment. I really appreciate just hanging out with people I love. So that helps to like recenter me.
My thing is, as a streamer, like, if I like a game, I want other people to experience the game. But I had to realize that there are some games I just shouldn't stream. And what I mean by that is I have to enjoy gaming outside of streaming and recording content. So certain games I literally be like, I'm not streaming this. I'm just going to play this. And I hope you all in here my stomach.
No, I did.
But yeah, it's like, okay, I need to just play this just so I could remember that gaming is something still to be enjoyed. I don't want to become a job.
Yeah.
And
I
so
feel like one, yeah.
right, and so burnout is real. Like I've stopped streaming a few times just because life happens and I just don't feel it. And once you lose that momentum, it's so hard to regain that.
Yeah.
But also, even though I read a lot, I get burnout from reading.
Yeah.
I'll start the year off good. I could read, let's say, about 6-7 books at the beginning of the year, and then I just stop. And the whole year will go past and I don't pick up. But what I've learned is that sometimes it just takes the right thing in whatever it is that where you have that burnout to just jump you back in. So I may stop reading books for a month and I may pick up one that just, it reminds me of why I love it so much. Gaming, on the whole, I might just stop and a game might come out, or I might be like, let me try play this. And then it reminds me why I love gaming, why I love streaming. Like the first stream I did the other day, that was something for months, and it was, I know that, wow, I really do like this. And so there are things, burnout is, it's a mental thing. You're gonna have to just pick up something like, okay, let me do it. But there are things that do remind you why you love it, and I feel that's what helps you get back out of it.
And that's why it's important to like surround yourself with like-minded people too, because if you lose or if your fire dims,
Yeah.
you around the people who, their fire's still going, and it's like, hey, I'm doing this, or I did this, or you see something they did, and or they asked you to help, and it's like, that's what I like, Let me.
Because the thing
Pick
with,
it back up.
like how we in the group, I feel like everybody in the group kind of burned out at the same time.
Yeah,
because last year it was just a lot, right? And it's
Right.
like, and I was gonna say, normally I would come back start January with a bang, and it's like,
It was
I recorded content and it's sitting there. I ain't edit no photo, I ain't edit no video. It's just there. I recorded a podcast with a client last week, Sunday. Recorded yesterday. I ain't touching, look at none of that yet. So, it's like, let me just bang it out and then sit on it, and then it's like, okay, when we start looking at it, then the juices start flowing.
Yeah.
But I also think I take strategic hiatuses. So I always have a break. Like after August, I always shut it down until Halloween. After
good.
March, I'll shut it down until like June. Or no, I like probably like I'll go hard March and April, May, go dip a little bit, and then June come back out, and then do my summer run, and then try to do like different things. But obviously life happens, so you have to change that break schedule. But you all are correct. Being around, well, us as a collective, we sort of, because the riding off the high, going to DreamCon and trying to do this, trying to do that, then the holidays, then GoCon and this and that, and it's like, all right, time for peace. But most definitely getting into being around like-minded people and everybody having similar goals. It don't always have to be the same goal because everybody wants something different, but for it to be in the same sphere.
Yes, exactly.
It's always encouraging, and you could feed off each other. And that was one of my next questions. Like, how do y'all feel, the importance of community? obviously y'all have each other to sort of feed off on when it comes to y'all fandoms and loves and being content creators and getting through daily life. But how important is it to y'all to have others outside of y'all to be around and have similar passions?
It's extremely important.
Very important.
And it don't matter what sphere you in. It don't even have to be like just creative arts. It don't matter what sphere you in. Like that community is so important. Community is common unity. So it reminds you what you're doing.
I get you. You blow your mind just now.
But yeah, and even speaking from like specifically with creative arts, it's like creatives go through the cycle, right? And if you don't have anybody, like imagine you are isolated in the thing you are passionate about. How long you think you'll go until it's just like, why even doing this? When you get to the point of why even doing this, it's like we got to take a step back and we got to analyze how we get here in the first place. Is this a passion? Is this flowing from the heart? Is this something you're doing because you think you're gonna make money? Like, what is the real reason you're doing this? And your community reminds you about that, like, effortlessly. And just like having other people to bounce ideas off of, or working with other people, like collaborating is so important. Collaboration is huge.
It is.
Like even like looking at this isn't a one-man thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And with community, and I would hope that, your community are filled with people that have good intentions. Like it helps in every aspect. It helps take your load off mentally, physically, with equipment, emotionally. And, when you get in ruts, you have people to talk to about it.
Yeah.
And they can just pull you back up. It's like when you drink the lawn milk and ocarina of time and your heart's refilled, like you need that.
But yeah, man, like especially with the, like how you say, when you get nuts, it's people to talk to about. It's like if they don't, when people who share your interest, they can understand exactly where you're coming from. Dealing with like, if we go back to burnout, they'll be like, okay, I've been there, I understand how you feeling. So it's like, you don't got to talk to somebody who has no idea how it is to make content. They ain't gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there's a lot of pressure, but when you have people in that community or who understands us, it's like, okay, yeah, I get what you feel and this is how we could work out of it, or you just need some time. And so it is important, even with like, if I go to my streaming career, a lot of my improvements to my streaming came because of people in the community who was like, okay, these adjustments you could make, because it wasn't things that I noticed. I just didn't have the eye for it.
Yeah.
And they came in like, okay, clean this up a bit, fix this up. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it does look better. I didn't see it before, but now I do. And the support, like if you have a community that is willing to support, because a lot of people would like that you're doing something, but they ain't always jump in and
support give there.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But as a streamer, and you have people who just jump in your chat just to be there, it feels good. It's like, okay, this is a push to keep going. And it's really good just to always have people who got your back.
That's that common unity, boy.
Yeah.
And even like, I just wanted to tack on, like, other people could see things that you don't. So we in the creative world, right? Like, you may not have the eye for the fact that, all right, maybe you need to do a closer. Like, maybe you should have the logo come in this way, or maybe you should like do this instead. Like, maybe your lighting could have been improved here, or maybe you could do this angle instead. Like, all of that coming from people with good intentions for you, it helps. Like, I mean, can we shout out Cindy in a bag again real quick?
Yes. Shout out to Cindy.
Shout out Cindy.
Cindy in a bag again.
Because she in a bag again, but she really never left the bag.
Yeah,
but like,
sure.
even if we use her, for example,
Yeah, Cindy
She
really
just
pushed
would be like,
pushed us
hey,
a
I
lot.
found some
Yeah.
assets.
Yeah.
This look like this is similar to your brand. Try that out. Or hey, I took your voice note and I turned it into a script.
Right.
Here it is. Here's the PDF. Like that helps. And as creatives, we want to learn how to do everything, but sometimes it ain't possible to do everything because there's so many aspects of creating.
Yeah,
Right?
and I think shouting out Cindy, and I don't think because I think I said that in the group one time. I was like, I don't think I would have tried to do the whole Duck Donuts content creator thing without having those experiences with y'all and being like, oh, let me. I ain't used to doing this, but let me try my hand at doing it because I understand it from a technical standpoint how to put it together. And it's like, let me try to get my feet wet really quick because obviously the opportunity presented itself. And then now, you know, doing that, then we did Inferno, which is a whole other thing. And it was like, but I ain't gonna lie, we can really do it. Like that's what I mean. Like, but we can really pull this off, you know? Yeah. It was like, okay, it ain't just ain't like a dream no more. It's like we can pull this off here because the whole thought is, okay, we gotta cross over to the States and then da. But it's like, okay, we don't have to have these giant amount of followers to be content creators and, you know, assist people in their branding because obviously the skills and talents that we possess versus hype and popularity.
Yeah.
And I love that these days because you know you have big influencers with the big numbers, but then you also have like micro influencers and then you have nano influencers. And the truth of the matter is like a lot of these companies and corporations and brands, they just want the content.
Yeah.
You know, like it I don't care. You could have 3 followers, you know, like user-generated content is a thing too, you know? So it's like, I'm not concerned about getting your audience, but you can make this content for me still. And I got that marketing budget anyway.
Yeah. So,
you know, like.
And if it wants to appear more organic, the different social media platforms will, you know, gravitate around it and then push it, which sort of leads us, we can't really talk about it yet. Another opportunity, you know, stay tuned. Yeah, you can see a bunch of again.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
But so as y'all are being content creators, as y'all are doing this, and y'all, one of the biggest questions before we end this whole conversation, what made y'all say y'all want to get married?
Oh.
Yeah. We jumping back.
No, but in this day and age, they be like, they give people give all kind of excuses. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. Whatever.
This all you, boo. Okay, looking at me like.
No, but she
now
had
I
to
want
say
to know if you
yes.
could say something.
Yeah.
Well, from the get-go. So we've been together 10 years. We just hit our 4-year anniversary in December. Right?
Oh,
Married.
happy anniversary. Late anniversary.
Yeah. But when we got together, I told her, I was like, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I could see myself marrying you.
Cool.
Like, that's where this ended up.
He did.
So I was like, you let me know if you feeling the same. Because like I said, we was friends beforehand. So it's like, I knew her years. And then like I just meet her and pull that. Y'all don't just pull this on people y'all just meet, please.
Big caveat.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew her years before we decided to be getting a relationship. So because I knew her, I was like, I could see us actually getting married. And that's where this is going to end for me. So if you ain't feeling the same, let me know now. I ain't wasting the time. And she was like, she feels the same way. So that was always the goal. We took a while to get that. 5 years I think we was together before. Yeah, 5. So, and plus we was living together. So it had to end up. But
That's it.
Yeah.
yeah, but
But I mean, the choice to move. Exactly.
It was just stages to get to the final goal.
which allowed us to move in together. But the goal was always to get married. I know she would make a good wife. I knew she'd make a great wife. She is a great wife, and I've been serious about it since then.
Because the reason I asked that.
Good men are out there, y'all. They're out there.
good nerdy man.
Y'all look in the wrong place.
Yeah, y'all in the wrong market.
Go to one fun.
Because why I asked that, because the next question is you're creating offspring, and then it's always, because I know a lot of my friends in the US, they're parents, and they sort of don't really try to push their kids into it, but it's like, if they can't see them doing it interested, they'll be like, all right, let me show you or something. So it's like, what is that like sort of plan, or have you all thought about that? Like, okay, if we have kids, are we going to show them these things, or be like, if they naturally gravitate towards it, then it's like, okay, we open up that door.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
Forcibly.
I give the first one. I might give them a little 3 months, but they gotta start One Piece.
You gotta start from young.
Yeah.
But we will expose them to it. So we already start collecting our mangas, our books.
Okay.
So
And Funko.
these are Funko Pops. These are things they'll see around. So I want to do the collection. So when they grow up, I could, hey, take this book, hey, this manga, like read it. You young, and that'll start introducing them there. But I saw a quote. I don't have kids. We don't have kids, so I don't know what it is to have a child.
Yeah.
I don't know how these things work, but the quote was like, I'm trying to remember it exactly, but it was, when you have kids, learn to incorporate them into the things that you like instead of just dropping it and dealing with them. So if you like to do these things, bring them into it, and therefore they learn to like it as well, which sounds good on paper. I'm sure it's very much harder to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's something we could try, but we want to introduce them to it. But they're their own people. They're going to be their own people as well.
Yeah.
So they could have their interests. They might not like it. They might like it. They might want to do other things, and that'll completely be up to them.
Yeah, because I know.
I know.
Because I know one of my veterans, he was like, with his son, it's like, yeah, I ain't gonna force him, but if he does,
Right.
like, you know, because when you ask questions, it's like, all right, let me pull you up. We was talking about this last night. Like, okay, like my kids would never watch none of these new cartoons. Everything would be like
Older.
90s. But
Yeah.
the stuff I grew up on is I must finish binge watching Courage. Just to more rewatch it again and be like, was it really getting this? Like, okay, it holds up. Certain things holds up, and it's like, yeah, I show my kids this, or like, you know, editing, like the practical things, and then, you know, some things we may have watched where it might not be child appropriate at certain ages. It's like, okay, understanding, okay, you ain't watching this now, but maybe when you get older, you could watch this not because it's animated, because it's just that art style. That means it's for children necessarily.
Yeah.
So, you know, all these different thoughts come through your mind.
Yeah.
So, before we close out.
Wait, before we close, I have something else to say.
Okay, go
I want
ahead.
to add to that.
All right.
I feel like gaming is a way of life. Like
Yeah.
it's no real thought into that. So I could very much see myself with my baby strap hair, and I could be catching my dubs. Like it's not. I don't see it as like forcing it on them. I just feel like for me, gaming is a way I bond with whomever. That's how me and my brothers bonded, and that's why we're so close. So that's gonna be the same way I bond with my kids. You know, and that's how we bond. So it's gonna be like natural.
Yeah, to be around.
Yeah.
They could be gamers. They
And
could
did
be
you ever
gamers.
have these thoughts to where you felt like you had to put these things away as you aged? Because I ain't remember
No.
having that thought. And then when I saw people who had the family and who had this, I was like, I ain't never stopping none of this stuff. Like, because people try to make it feel like you doing childish things. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, bro.
No, you just childish.
Yeah. Like, it's like,
You
I
don't
like what I like.
Yeah, no, I've never had that thought. It has only expounded because I feel like, shoot, I want to set up for my kids too. Like I want them off their own game set up.
I remember when I was in school one time, I was explaining this anime to someone in my class. As I watched it, it was school days.
Oh my god.
This is back when I was watching it on YouTube. But
Hold on, which?
school days
School days.
anime. You never watch it?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
go watch it. Okay, you'd remember. You'd remember if you did. It's very good.
Yeah.
So I was explaining it to them, and this boy was like dead interested in it.
Yeah.
It's only a 12 episode thing. And he was there, and he's like, but it's really good. Like, when you watch the next one, tell me about it. And I updated him as I watched it. And then he went to watch it, and he's like, I didn't know it was animated. I was like, does it matter? You enjoyed it as I was telling you about it, so why is it an issue now? So I've always had that thing where you just ain't watching it because it's animated.
And you think animation is just for children.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you was to, like, y'all love these Avengers movies, but y'all wouldn't watch the animated ones.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Read the comic.
right.
Right.
But y'all all up in fusion when these things drop.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we kind of breaking that a little bit these days, though.
Yeah,
Look
we
at,
are.
Because, like, there's so many people who love the One Piece live action. I am one of them. And they never watch One Piece a day in their life. But it's literally the same. Well, it's not the same.
It's just its own
story,
canon, basically.
But it's the same story.
Yeah.
And One Piece itself is just animated. You love the story, but it's just presented in a different way.
The thing about it is they would love it if it was written in a book and didn't have no images to it.
right.
And so that's why I sort of drop, because a story is a story. And if I can use these characters in these situations to teach you life lessons, what does it matter and what medium?
What form?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because
You
even
know.
if we do that with books, a lot of people nowadays only want to read the motivational,
Yeah.
get wealthy books, but it's like
Self-help.
so much life lessons. And like, I read a lot of fiction, and it's like so many life lessons in these fiction stories. But you just limiting yourself because you think it's a waste of time or it's childish, and it's not. It's
Because people don't understand reading for fun. Because if they read, it have to be self-help or for me to gain some inside knowledge. And nothing wrong with that. But you can read for fun as well. Take your mind
need
another
a
place.
break.
Yeah, like,
you could binge 10 seasons of a show, but you can't read a book.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's why the literacy...
I'm not attacking anybody, by the way.
but it's like...
Yeah,
Because I remember one idea I have for this year, and I talked to Omar and Tyler about it, is... And I need to go back and sit down and flesh it more out. Is like having like an event to where it's like a book club, but for manga. So where it's like you get a cool spot,
I love that.
you bring
be
a
good.
manga,
Yeah,
and
that's
you just
really
sit
cool.
quiet and go read. Because I, like I say, since I started, because I purchased the first 4 volumes, Sakamata Days from Manga Core. Shout out Manga Core.
Shout out Manga Core.
I would just be in a quiet place, take the book out and landmark and just read. Oh, like I remember when I got the first volume of Kagurabachi, I was going to Exuma for a wedding. And on the plane and sitting up in the airport, I got my leg crossed with my coffee and just reading, bro. And it's like, yo, that's a vibe.
Yeah,
So-
it surely is.
Yeah. So it's like, we got to make reading cool because obviously due to the literacy rates and people can't read on a 5th grade level and have understanding simple words. Yeah, that's a great gateway into reading. Obviously, you can read more complex things and understand because the mysteries of the world are in books and manuscripts. Writing is.
they in One Piece.
Yeah. So like writing is the only artifact that really transcends time because once it's etched in stone, obviously.
Look at the poneglyphs.
Yeah. See all the real world implications. So like, I always encourage people to do that. So finally, what is your sort of, I guess, next steps for you guys as content creators, future plans, future goals, all this good stuff?
So, kitties are in the near future.
Kitties.
I'm not saying anything is active, but
Well, that's what I say. Hold on.
Yeah, no, this was not an announcement.
let's make that kind of
Yeah, it's like exclusive alert.
It wasn't a reveal.
No, but we want, at least right now, we want a big family, and we gotta start.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So that, but content wise, for me, I had been, I guess an unintentional break, but I just been focusing on my spiritual health, and that's been really fun and fulfilling. And I have a whole slew of things to create out of that. And, I just can't wait to do that. And I think this year with, our thing,
Yeah.
I I kind of want to like push some limits with that. Like I want to go above and beyond. I want to do a little extra. I want to make more cinematic content. So that's my thing. And yeah, that's it for me.
I think as of right now, I just focusing on getting back into streaming. I have YouTube videos that I need to edit, and more I want to make, so I want to build up on that. But I used to draw a lot when I was younger, so I'm trying to get back into that and introduce art content. Like just, I have some ideas, but I want to get into like art streams, just art videos, just creating a lot of art, and I think that's the main step in the future that I want to get into.
Yeah.
Advice for people trying to find love, but they're a nerd.
But they're a nerd.
Man.
Don't be Y'all don't be weird, man. Like
Tell them again.
please, like don't be weird. Like love all the things, but
Yeah, like if you gotta find someone who could match your weight if you want to be weird, which probably could be difficult.
Yeah.
right.
But ease them into it.
Yes.
Like
Yes, that's good.
I understand it's a part of you, but they ain't gotta see that at the beginning. We could be normal human beings. We could exist in society, and we could act right, and then you could ease that out a bit and introduce it. But it's
And
possible.
I would also say like if you are kind of like a shut-in nerd, let's work on our social skills. Like let's work on that for real, because
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna find a person inside. You know, we gotta go out.
Yeah,
we gotta
right.
touch grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do that. Go out more. Solo dates.
Um,
Starbucks.
So a lot of the guys,
Dress up, girlies.
girls can be interested in these things.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And tell them to bid and proceed.
Please, babe.
Actually, we before we go, we gotta go get into the con situation.
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Let's talk about it.
All right, so when was your first con? Was it DreamCon 2022?
2023.
I thought y'all went 2022.
No, we didn't go to.
No, we didn't.
It was 2023.
2023.
What was that like for the first time going to a big event for y'all?
That was like mind blowing for me. Like, I don't mean, I mean this to the fullest extent. It's not an exaggeration. The energy
Yeah.
in the place is like crazy. Like it's electric almost. And it felt so good. I'd never been around that much nerds at one time. And it just felt like
Home?
home.
Yeah.
Yes, quite literally. It just felt like, wow, these my people, they get me. I just loved it. I love being here. We gotta come back. we did that.
We did
and we're
go
going
back.
back again. But yeah. I don't know if that's a dream con thing though.
No,
or
that
if
ain't-
it's a con
That's
thing.
a con thing.
It's a
'Cause,
con
like,
thing. Okay.
when I first went to, when I officially went to my first one as Jussie Salma, it was MomoCon 23. And I went by myself. Like, well, actually, I knew people who was going to be there, but I was walking around myself because I wanted to absorb it in by myself and just feeling this like, oh, this is what I've been missing all my life.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I felt like a kid in the candy store, just like, oh, it's all these things and all these people, and everybody, like, you would talk to a random person you don't even know, and y'all talking for hours and hours
just
about,
chopping it up.
like,
Yeah.
you know, and then it's like, it spill over to, and I think that's the dimension a lot of people don't get, how to, like, you talk about this fandom, and then you connect it to real life, and now you can talk about real life, and then you get to know the person behind all the costume and the things, and then it's like, oh, this person is cool. We could talk about real stuff, but
Yeah.
then so like the fandom, how we met is comes like somewhat the background for other things, and it's like, bro, this person cool, or
Right.
you know,
Like it
because
was-
some people
it-
is hide behind the love for the fandom, and it's like, bro, you ain't really. You know what I mean? Like, it's some people is hide behind the love for the fandom, and it's like, bro, you ain't really. You know what I mean? Like, some people is hide behind the love for the fandom, and it's like, bro, you ain't really. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't really a too circumspect person. Like, you know, you trash. You just use this stuff to master, but you ain't look. So, you know, but yeah, it's a con thing. Obviously, each con has their own vibe because, like, at Blurred Con, it's more, you see more older people. So, like, people in their 60s, so auntie them dress up or whatever, got the little kids or whatever. So, it's like a party in the backyard type of thing. So, it's like, it does feel like a whole one big family reunion. Other more bigger cons, it's the same thing with the old elders and everybody just enjoying your time. Everybody wants you to have a good time. So they're like, you know, have a great con.
Yeah.
And it's like, so inviting. I remember I spoke to Sam about this when we went on one of our group trips. And I was like, why people have con depression is because of escapism. And it's because you didn't feel that amount of tension and people caring for your well-being since you was in kindergarten.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So it's like,
that's
unpack
serious.
it.
yeah. So it's
No, that's
like
serious.
you, like ain't nobody cared about you since you was a child. So now you went through your life feeling somewhat alone, even if you have like a partner and children or whatever. But it's like here, it's like everybody loving on you and you loving on them. It's this big love fest. And it's like a dream. And then when that dream is over, it's like,
wow, this is reality?
yeah. Well, I want to go back to the real world. And it's like, you know, I want to go back to that sweet spot. So, you know, that's what keeps people, especially people in the circuit, obviously here where we are away from this stuff. You know, people goes to, I know friends that they'll go to 5 cons in the span of a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how you do it. Because I'm like,
Really
I retired after one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, how you doing 4 or 5 back to back to back, and they be finished, but it's like the
For
energy.
us, it's more of like it's an event because
Yeah.
especially with the traveling situation, for them
Yeah.
it's like that's just a Saturday, that's just a Sunday.
No, but for them they just have the whole con depression too. But it's like every weekend you and then you come down, then you go back and you come down. It's like you get sort of burnt out, so it's like, oh, okay, I need to relax.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so yeah, because I always say I recommend anybody, any human, go to a convention.
Yes.
And I love that the Fusion crew, they went to
Evil.
Eva last year, and I was like, yeah, you gotta understand being around it and
exactly.
being immersed in it, and you getting all these new ideas, and you seeing what this one doing, and then people coming up to you and asking questions, you going up them, and that's how you network and build long lasting relationships.
Yep.
So yeah.
Two of my favorite people now I've met through the DreamCon experience. Like
We
love
got a-
them to death.
we
Like
made
they feel like my sisters now.
You're talking about Sarah and
Yeah,
Lexi.
Sarah and Lexi.
Okay, yeah.
Shout out my girlies.
But like, yeah, we met a lot of people going to DreamCon the first time because we joined the Discord.
Yeah.
And so I think that really improved our experience when we first went because we was meeting so much people going over there.
Yeah.
But like now they're lifelong friends. Now people we're only gonna see when we go here, so it makes the time
Yeah, 'cause-
even more enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's like a family reunion. Like,
yeah.
Right.
like when I saw my boy Shadow School with Prime, I saw him at MomoCon. And then when they're in Dream, I'm like, bro, what's good, bro? Like, so you go to different ones, it's like different people, and it's like you hanging out, you on a bar close to them, y'all talking.
Yeah.
Okay, we could go to this thing that way, or yo, you going to this place? Okay, we can meet each other. You room with people,
Exactly.
you know. So it's like
real
Yeah.
life connections.
real
and
life
relationships.
connections,
Yeah.
like you know. And then you just excited to see them again year after year, whether it be they're connected to particular cons or you meet them at different cons. Like, you know, it's an experience that I feel like you don't want to sort of disconnect yourself from or, you know, not allow yourself to experience.
It allows for like even outside of just even going to cons now because you become so close to these people, you travel into where they are to just hang out with them or they travel into where you live and now it's just it's branched out now.
Yeah.
So it's just all these different experiences now because you went to this con and met these people.
Yeah, for sure. Because you don't know how much people after gone want to come to here now or just to
Right.
not even go to a convention, just to be like, I want to be in the Bahamas during the Christmas time.
Yeah.
Like, be on the beach or whatever. And it's like, but it's people at the end of the day. And it's like, you know, we got to break bread together.
Right.
So, you know, and then they have their connections, and it's like, okay, I trying to get there, and now I know the plugs.
Yeah. And then sorry, it also made me think of like even I feel like we did a good shout out to us because I
Yeah.
feel like we did a good job of having the Bahamas in people's minds. Like
Yeah.
literally to the point where in the closing, I don't know if you made it to the closing ceremony.
No,
And-
what I was doing?
Where were you? You were in our picture though.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was there, but I think I don't think I went to the closing ceremony. I think I was at the Gom table, or I was doing something. I can't remember.
Well, at the
Yeah.
closing ceremony, they giving their thanks and this and that. But Mark was like, we had people from all over the world come here. Shout out London, the Bahamas,
Yeah.
and da, 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 da. And so it's like I feel like us as Bahamian collectives who went to DreamCon, we left that impression.
Right.
And so now it's like international. Like you say, now people want to come and more people want to come, and it's like a system that feeds itself.
Yeah, and that's why I always feel like, especially for my individual success is always a nod for the collective as a whole. So like, getting listed on a Talking to One calendar, it's like, all right, someone else could be on next year
That's
from here.
huge, by the way.
Or whatever,
Shout out
like-
to you.
Yeah, so it's like now you have brands want to be like, okay, who else on
Right.
this scene? And it's like I open the door and be like, okay, come look.
Yeah.
So like, so whatever, and that's why always is constantly in my mind. It's like, okay, whatever I do, I can try to not only give myself the light, but shine the light on everybody else. Because it's like we stronger as a community versus
Yes.
one person gobbling up everything, which you can always feel doing that. So
And it's enough for everybody to eat.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Everybody.
So but thank you all so much
This is
for
fun.
joining
It
us.
was really
Thanks
good.
for having us.
Yes, and I love that this idea finally came to fruition. I can come up with something else
Yes,
along
yes,
the way,
yes.
and we hopefully we have more of these. But thank you all for listening and watching the Tour for Cartoons yet again with KekeThaCutiee and YahSquiddy. Signing out. Peace and love.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
Watching cartoons separates you from others.